Hi, Lee. Just reflecting on Saturday, then a lot of the fans were saying it was the best game of the season, they thought, for Bristol City. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
I knew it'd be a good game to watch. Obviously, the way Swansea play and the way we play was almost like the perfect clash, if you like, in terms of it being conducive to an end-to-end, open, good footballing game. Obviously, we was on the right end of it, which was good. Both sides had chances. I think both sets of fans, if you like, could see the quality of the opposition. Had that sort of old school, intense type feeling to it, didn't it? And I think that probably gives the euphoric nature of the goal being scored that little bit more passion and desire that comes with the relief that comes with a goal like that. So, yeah, I think in terms of a spectacle, it was very good. In terms of the performance, it was good, but there's still bits that I see that need to be improved. And that's, like we said in the post-match press conference, is our goal to continue to improve that performance.
Does the side have the mental toughness, do you think, to go all the way this season and finish in the top six?
I think you've got to look at the games, which is difficult. You know, we've got a lot of sort of the top sort of 8-10 away from home. But I think where they've got to be mentally strong is to perform the actions in the match that coincide with their attributes in the game. That's where it comes out. It's that bravery to try that through ball, to hit that shot, to make that tackle. And in those actions, if buoyed by a big support and the player's fresh and has got energy and is confident to make mistakes and to bounce back from them and then to try something different, that's the bit really that we've got to focus on. Because everything else is external pressure and noise. And what is external pressure? Well, actually, the pressure that we put on ourselves to perform in that way is more important than the external pressure, because that is going to influence the outcome in those moments.
One thing we didn't ask you actually after the game on Saturday was about the carry-on in that far corner by the Dolman and the Attio. Did any of that catch your attention at all? Did you see anything happening there?
I didn't see, to be honest, obviously you fixated on the match. I didn't see an awful lot. I just saw like stewards and police running round. And I haven't obviously seen anything in terms of like social media or anything like that. So I've just cracked on with the job, and obviously we've had a big week in terms of preparation for this game.
Lee, it's obviously 3 years since you've been in charge at Ashton Gate.
I found that out today, yeah. Everyone was texting me a happy anniversary and I panicked because I thought I'd forgotten my wedding anniversary or something, and now I understand why.
What's been your biggest learning in that time at club?
I think it's all learning, really. It's like, do you know what I mean? We win or we learn, don't we? And even when we win, we often learn. I think that it's a brilliant level. Obviously, as a young coach myself, I'm learning all the time anyway. But I think senior coaches would say that as well, and I don't think that changes. And I think if you've got that growth mindset, the challenge is, can you implement your ideas and get the players to take them on, understand them, and then replicate their training in a high pressure environment on a Saturday. And at the moment, that's been nice to see and quite pleasing, given the fact that the players put in such hard work on the training ground.
You've spoken before about always willing and wanting to learn. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Do you follow the NFL?
Yeah.
I've been told you might.
Yeah, I tried, but I fell asleep, like most people. It was a terrible timing and very selfish of the Americans to put it on for the British audience at that time of the morning. But we did allow the lads to come in a little bit later because there was a few that wanted to watch it, and everyone that I asked that wanted to watch it fell asleep as well, so it was pointless in the end. But yeah, I do find American football interesting. Like, obviously it's very set play orientated. Well, it is totally set plays, and I watch all the all or nothing sort of coaches and the way they interact with the players. And Bruce is my favourite, Bruce Arians.
Oh, okay.
When he was at the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But obviously, the young guy that's...
I was going to ask if
definitely.
Maybe you identified with him at all.
Yeah, I can actually, because I think the NFL, if you look at the pressures on an NFL manager, I think it's probably got the closest comparison to a football manager. Like the tenure, the average tenure is pretty similar, probably averaging about maybe 14 months or something like that amongst the group. Coaches sort of flit in and out, and they have to very quickly get a team playing to a particular tune. You've got multi-millionaires, you know what I mean, and those egos and injuries to manage, and obviously the exposure and the intensity and the pressure is on all the time. So yeah, I do enjoy it, even though I definitely wouldn't say I could go and coach a American football session.
But with Jay McVeigh, he has that coach behind him. Did you know?
Ah, that's funny, yeah.
Stopping him in the technical area.
Well, I have that with Dean and Macca to keep me away from the fourth official.
That's what
it's just a little bit different. It's just like a human wall.
That's what I was going to ask you. And speaking of Dean there, he's been linked to the Hibernian job post in the last 24 hours. Is there anything in that?
Well, not as far as I know. I mean, I can tell you that he's been getting a bit of ribbing from the staff, and that every time he walks in, the Hibs song comes on, or sometimes the Hearts song, given that Jamie McAllister played for Hearts. And yeah, they've packed up his stuff and put it in a box and all that type of stuff. So, but on a serious note, no, there's been no contact at this stage from Hibernian. And if I was Hibernian, I would be looking at young coaches like Dean Holden, Jamie McAllister, because they're good lads and they're good coaches. We don't want to lose them, of course. And I think that any sign of interest, even if it's via the media, shows that those boys, particularly Dean and Macca, are doing brilliant jobs.
Lee, I think I'm right in saying that you maybe played a behind closed doors game against Swindon Town yesterday?
Yeah, we did, yeah. It was a good game.
How did you get on?
Yeah, it was 2-2. They played a first team in the first half, and then a sort of backup squad in the second half, and we had players like Liam Walsh that needed a game, Hakeeb, Marley Watkins played 90 minutes, which was good. Antoine Semenyo scored 2 in that and done well. Marisa was nice and bright. So we had a very, very young back four who also performed well, which was good. And there's a lot of experienced players in the Swindon squad. So, yeah, there's people like Walshy at the moment probably needs a couple of those games, given the fact how long he was out for, and Marley Watkins. But it's nice to see the players, particularly the ones that have been injured, getting out there and having game time.
Yeah, just on the injury news for Blackburn then, is there anything we need to be aware of? How's Corey Smith doing? Is he getting closer at all?
He was a bit down today. I had to give him a little cuddle today, which is unusual with Corey. I think just he sees all the other lads getting back as well, do you know what I mean? And he's obviously very hungry to play football, and he's never happy when he's not playing football. But he's a fantastic character, and we'll give him the support, both emotionally and of course physically, for what he needs. And it's Corey Smith, and he's here, he's there, he's everywhere, with another word in.
Yeah, everywhere.
He'll be back.
So Anton scored 2 there that you said, and Mo Isa, you kept him in obviously. He obviously didn't go out on loan. Is there a chance we could see Mo soon involved?
Yeah, well obviously he was on the bench in the last one. I wanted to go with 2 forwards. One of the big problems I've had with blooding those type players is our games have been so tight. You know, like if you're 3-0 up or 3-0 down, like for that sort of 25-minute spell, half hour, whatever, 20 minute in whatever, you can put those guys on, and it's like there's no risk to it. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be Antoine or Mo, and obviously the training. The more they train with the more they understand the systems, the patterns, the process. The easier it is to trust them, and I trust their attributes 100%. But obviously, there's a lot of intricacies that go into the defensive side. Maybe people see it, maybe they don't, but there is. And I suppose that's the element that those players have got to earn the respect from their peers, which is obviously the lads that they play with, and the coaches, that level of trust is just 100% on the bits that they don't do well, because the bits that they do well, they're in the squad because they do them better than anyone else in the squad. And that's the challenge, is to keep chipping away. If you've got an attribute that's a 3 out of 10, that needs to be a 6 in the Championship, and as well as your 9 and 10s being up there with everybody else.
Yeah, fair point. Just finally, early in the transfer window, Bristol City were linked to Joe Williams. Was there ever anything in that one, or was it?
Well, obviously, Joe Williams is a good young player that plays for Everton. Of course, if he was available at that point, we would have had an interest. But I think he's at Bolton, obviously, anyway. And at that point, he got an injury. So I think he's still injured now, if I'm right. I'm not sure, but. Yeah, I like Joe Williams. He's a good player, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he would have come in and jumped ahead of anybody that we've got. And also, he's not our player, so I like a lot of players, but I can't have them all.
Fair enough. Thanks very much.
All right.
Lee, just wanted to ask you. We've already mentioned today is 3 years in the job as of today. If you were to give yourself a grade the last 3 years, what would you give yourself?
That's a funny old question. I don't know is the answer. I don't think it's for me to judge. I would give myself an A+ for work rate, and that's what I can guarantee. I've worked my socks off, as have all the staff, to try and drive the club forward, and I'll let other people judge everything else. And listen, I've enjoyed it. I want it to continue, and I'm looking forward to what can be a very successful, hopefully another 3 years.
But you're happy with how things are progressing from when you first took over the role?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think the club's the challenge for a manager is always to leave the club, in a better place than you found it. And I genuinely think that the youth, and it's not my work, this is everybody's shared work, but through that hard work, we've raised the bar, I think, on the tip of the iceberg, which is obviously the 3 o'clock on a Saturday. But the academy, the young players that are out on loan, the future of the football club financially, we're a very stable club. Training grounds on its way, do you know what I mean? And will be massive for this football club moving forward. Crowds are going up, do you know what I mean? So there's so many positives to celebrate that often get masked or sort of diluted, if you like, by a sequence of results on a Saturday. But the club it's got a very, very solid footing at the moment, and hopefully that will be the bedrock and the foundations for us to go and be successful moving forward.
Absolutely, and you've already mentioned it there. You're buoyed by the fact you're on a good run, travelling to Ewood Park on Saturday. Blackburn pretty strong at home, but you've got a decent record there under your tenure.
Yes, listen, I really respect Blackburn and the work that's been done there. Obviously they went down from the Championship and bounced back very quickly under Tony Mowbray. You can tell that they're a very honest group of players, like our boys, I think, and I think it'll be a really honest game. The game at home was very, very close up until we scored the second goal. And then when they started chasing the equaliser, we scored at good times. They've obviously got the strike force of Graham and Dak, who are very good players and scoring goals and causing teams problems. But we've got good players also, and obviously it's our job to go with the same attitude that we went into the Swansea game. And if that happens, then I'm sure that we've got enough quality to go and create chances, and then it'll be on the day whether or not we're good enough to take them.
And just finally, how keen is Casey Palmer to start this one in particular?
Yeah, no, he's keen. Listen, he wants to start every game, and it's difficult to pick a balanced team at the moment because all my flair players are in form, and I think that's a real positive, but it's also makes it tough. But now we've got 6 games in 21 days, and I have made it clear to the squad that there will be some rotations or a level of rotation there. But it doesn't mean we're not going out to win every single game, and that's what we'll try and do. This will be no different on Saturday. It's a really tough game. We're going to need everybody and the support that we've had, particularly away from home in recent games, to continue that run. But that's what we'll try and do.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.